Hi everybody, welcome to Saturday Live at the Backyard Bird Center. Today we're talking about clean bird feeding, and everybody has their own reasons for wanting to feed with less mess. Some people have really nice lawns and they don't want a lot of weeds growing up under their bird feeders. Some people have their bird feeders placed over landscaping mulch that is easy for seeds to germinate in. Carrie, who works here, lives in an apartment situation, and she's very respectful of her neighbors that live below her, not having a lot of mess falling down onto their patio. So she's very conscious about clean bird feeding. So what's that about? How do you feed cleanly? How do you eliminate germination? That's what the topic is today. First, we'll talk about what typical feeding is, typical bird seed mixes, like Boardwalk Blend, which is right here in front. Hopefully you can see that, is our classic blend of sunflower, safflower, and peanuts. The sunflower and the safflower, and the NutriSaff in this case, have a seed coat on it. Well, the seed hull, as it protects the seed until it's ready to germinate and grow. So that, for birds, is an obstacle they have to crack open and get rid of, because all they're interested in is that heart or the meat of that seed. And so whenever they crack open that seed, then the hull falls to the ground and you get a buildup of mess under your feeders. I rake it up a couple of times a year and just throw the hulls out into the woods behind my house, and that works for me, but not for everybody. That's not, in different situations, like we said, people don't want those hulls. They don't want any chance of germination. So to do that, you pretty much have to go with hull-less seed. So what is a hull-less seed? Well, a sunflower seed in particular is the kernels, as they call them, is a sunflower that has been dehulled, and there's a process by which the seed companies do that. And the hulls come in different varieties. Now, a whole, like if you think of a salad bar, you have whole hearts, which is the entire heart of a sunflower seed that birds like to eat. And this one, we feed a lot of that, mainly for larger birds like cardinals and things. They like that heart, that big whole heart. But also comes in a medium, broken up more piece of the hull, and also the fine hulls, which are what most people feed for their goldfinches. And that is a total 100% hull-less seed. There's no holes in there whatsoever. There's no chance of germination. Very, very clean feeding. Now, peanuts, another hull-less seed that can't germinate and very, very clean to feed. Peanuts are great for that. But there's one other seed that won't germinate, so qualifies as a germination-free seed, but not as a very clean seed, and that's Niger. Niger seed, even as tiny, and the tiny little black seeds that you see, people think there can't be a hull. That just must be a seed. Well, it actually does have a hull. Half of that is a seed, is a hull, and half of it's a seed. So the goldfinches literally do have to crack that open to get the food out of there. And people see the black underneath their finch feeders, and they think, oh, they're wasting all that seed. Well, that's actually hulls. They're falling to the ground that the birds have cracked open. So while it's sterilized, this seed is actually sterilized before it's brought into this country. It's grown in places like Ethiopia and India. It's their oil crop. Well, when they bring Niger into this country, they heat it to 500 degrees, so it kills the seed, so it can't germinate. So in that sense, it's a very clean seed because it's not producing weeds in your yard, but it is not a clean seed in the sense that it does have a hull. So that kind of is one that we wanted to clarify here, because we do get that question a lot about what they think is waste under their feeders. So you want to feed the clean seed, and you're doing what you can. You're using trays to keep anything from hitting the ground. You're feeding hull-less seed, so there's not any waste. There's not any germination going on underneath there, and you still see some weeds pop up under your feeders. Well, either Mark has sold me a bad bag of seed, or what's going on here? Well, the truth is, birds only get about 15% of their daily diet from bird feeders. So that other 85% of the food they're eating during a day are insects, they're berries, they're seeds, natural seeds out there, weed seeds, dandelion seeds, all kinds of things. And whenever those birds eat those, and then, they come into your feeder to eat some of your seed, and they're pooping while they're on your bird feeder, and that's germination, that seed hole and the seed heart and the berries are passing through their systems and falling to the ground under your bird feeders, and these weeds start to grow. That's where they come from. That's why along fence lines, where birds like to perch up on fence lines, you see all kind of different plants growing under a fence, because that's a lot of the seed that's being pooped out and passing through a bird system that's growing along there. So the whole of seed does work, but it's not 100%, because birds are bringing in seed from the rest of the woods and maybe passing them through your yard. So, but if you want a good clean yard, you want to be able to minimize the waste and the hulls and things like that, go with a hull of seed. We do have them in just the seeds themselves. Also have it in a couple of blends. Oh, there they go. Nuttenberry is a low waste seed. There's a little bit of waste in that. There's some holes on the black hole sunflower for the most part, but Nuttenberry is a very clean seed overall. And then we have total no waste blends like Deck Porch and Patio, which has no hulls in it. And also the Rich and Tweet seed from Des Moines Feed is another completely whole seed, very clean, and you won't have any germination. So hope that helps. If you like the videos, give them a share, give them a like, send in ideas for future programs. Until then, come by, let's talk birds.
2, 1.
Would you like to learn more about wild birds? You might want to hit that subscribe button.